Hey, I'm back. So, good news first. No cancer. I am lymphoma free, and let's drink to that before we do anything else. And it's not alcohol, by the way. It's my favorite, fizzy water. I'm gonna be yapping for a while, so yeah, it's not lymphoma. If you were watching yesterday, I'm looking for my glasses now. If you were watching yesterday and you had my post from today, I was talking about how I was peeking at my chart CT results because the nurse from the oncologist called yesterday and she was like, he would really like to talk to you as soon as possible. So how about tomorrow morning? And I said, fine. And then I freaked out. Like, there's obviously something wrong if he's really wants to talk to me that fast, because I had just had my CT scan. So I looked and, it showed no, what is it, lymphadenopathy, whatever the word is. It showed like nothing. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And, I researched that, sometimes they can miss things on, the CT scan. And so I thought maybe that's what happened. Like the angle was wrong or something. So these are really big lumps here, So I thought, well, they'll just have to do it again or something, and then I discovered that I have something else going on in my brain. It is I should have put my computer next to me here so I wouldn't have to do this again, because this always happens to me. I can't remember anything anymore, but if you saw the thing yesterday, I mentioned it then. It's called FMD, which stands for, drum roll please, fibromuscular dysplasia, and the kind that I have is cerebrovascular. And what it is it is a blockage in the artery. It looks like a string of pearls, basically. So it's like it's blocking the blood flow in your arteries, which can obviously be pretty dangerous. It can lead to strokes or mild ischemia, which is mini strokes. It can lead to heart attacks, things like that. It's extremely rare. It's so rare that I am now officially a member of the what's it called? The National Organization of Rare Disorders. There are only 200,000 cases in the country of this disorder. So yeah, yay. The problem with that being that it's, there's not a whole lot of research that's been done. Although now, for whatever reason, there people are trying to get more research done on it, and so that's a good thing. So literally every symptom I've had, sorry, I'm like trying to adjust myself here and get the computer. All the symptoms I've been having are as a result of this extremely rare disorder, which is why, the oncologist, really did think that it was a lymphoma. And, funnily enough, I think I mentioned that he and I had made a joke, like, he's like, I don't know what else it could be, but hey, maybe it's related to your Ehlers-Danlos. And I was like, yeah, haha, but turns out, that's another thing that we found out. He's like, do you have vascular Ehlers-Danlos? Sorry, I keep moving the phone, but I'm trying to get comfortable. My arm hurts. And I was like, well, yeah. And he said, he had been doing some, research on it. And he's like, I think this might be related. And I said, well, yeah, I had been doing research too. And it looks like they have the same genetic markers, which is crazy. So vascular Ehlers-Danlos, which is the rarest form of Ehlers-Danlos, because it affects the vascular systems, and it's the most dangerous form of Ehlers-Danlos, which of course is what I have because it's me. And now I have this other really, really rare thing, which is even more rare, and that's what's been causing everything. And it very, very largely affects women, of course, and it's also it's on some level they think it's related to hormones too. And it generally starts to affect women my age, which is why there's never been any evidence of it before, which is why I've all of a sudden been having these symptoms now, and they hadn't been happening before, which is like there's like a worsening of these symptoms. On some level, a lot of them have been similar to my previous symptoms of the Ehlers-Danlos, so if that all makes sense. So, yeah, so it explains like these intense headaches I've been having because there's a blockage back there. There's like, there's a blockage in blood going to my brain, basically. So he's like, you need to see someone soon. He's like, so he's looking for a vascular, a cerebrovascular vascular neurologist, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently it is. He's like, we're going to get you in there because there's, they're considering all the symptoms that I'm having and all the pain, and like, I've got the, the dizziness, the weakness of limbs, the confusion, I'm unstable walking, weakness in my limbs, all the other symptoms I've been complaining about for all this time. He's like, clearly it's like, it's not a mild case. You've got, this needs to be checked out because one of the things that can happen is stroke. And I was like, well, yeah, my grandmother had a series of mini strokes, and that's an indication that, I'm going to be prone to it too. And he's like, yeah, that is true. So that's the next step. So, on the one hand, it's like, yay, no cancer, and which is like really such a huge relief. And so he's like, yeah, I'm thanking him for the, I'm like, thank you so much for, telling me I don't have cancer. And he's like, yeah, sorry that I've got this other horrible thing, And I'm like, well, just take the good with the bad, I guess. It's a scary thought to think that, this could just hit out of the blue, like lightning strike. I could just any moment have a stroke, hopefully I'll be like my grandmother and just have like 10 little mini ones, and like it really didn't affect her much, there was no, she didn't have any like drooping face or anything like that, and she wasn't on life support, or like she wasn't in the hospital even for like more than a day, but it's scary, and I'm wondering if like all this time, I've had vagal nerve, like I can't pronounce it, vagal nerve seizures most of my life, and I'm wondering if that's got to be related to it, like I would just like pass out and like start shaking. So it wasn't like epilepsy, it was like related to the vagal nerve back there, and it's like I should have asked him about it, but I wasn't thinking. I've had like a lot of those through my life, and since I started taking topiramate, they've stopped, but I'm wondering if that wouldn't be related too. So yeah, it's like good news, bad news, but yeah, I'm super relieved. On that one, on the cancer front, I'm super relieved because just, the thought of having to go through chemo and, radiation, and with my health issues as they are, I was thinking, I don't even know if I'd be able to tolerate intense chemo, that was a scary thought for me. I didn't care about losing hair or anything like that. It's like hair grows back, and it wasn't like anything like that. It was more just like, I didn't know if my body could take it, if it was an aggressive form of lymphoma, it would have been really rough. So, and, lymphoma is treatable, it's like these days cancer isn't what it used to be. It's like, it's not the death sentence it used to be. It was like definitely worrying, considering like I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and I do have pre-existing health conditions, and so it does make the mortality rate a bit higher. But with this thing, it's just kind of like, with it being so rare, there's really no way of telling like how bad it is except by like my symptoms. And then them looking, I mean, he did say that the blockage is big. He's like, it's very, very visible, and there's more than one, and they are large. He's like, it's just like, they're right there, and he's like, plus you've got this, these two very large, palpable things that we thought were lymph nodes. He's like, they're definitely not. They're a result of like the blockage that you have like in your brain. So it's backing things up here somehow. I didn't quite understand how it was causing this, but I mean, apparently it is. So it's like, somewhat scary. I don't know, but because I'm so symptomatic, I do have to see someone right away. Which he's gonna call me as soon as possible. As soon as he finds someone, he's gonna call me. But basically it's like a matter of like managing symptoms, and not like I can't engage in activities that like I'm whipping my hair back and forth like the song. I'm really dating myself, but yeah, I had to really, really careful with like sudden head movements, intense physical activity, which I think we all know at this point I do not engage in. I have to just, a lot of rest. Obviously, I can't do intense physical activity or exercise. I have to allow myself to rest because, like passing out would not be a good thing, because bumping my head on something, like jarring that area back there, would be a bad thing. In terms like I was like, is there anything like I need to avoid eating or something like that? Apparently I need to, like, coffee is not a good idea. Like I can have a little bit of coffee, but not much, which sucks. I love coffee, but what are you gonna do? I'm not a smoker, so no smoking. That's fine. I don't drink, so that's good. Heart healthy food, obviously, because I've got a heart condition as it is, and apparently they're related. It's vascular Ehlers-Danlos, of course, they're related. Yeah, and then just like I have high cholesterol, which is weird because I don't eat a high cholesterol diet at all. But that's something I'm going to really need to work on, obviously, because like occluded arteries is not good. And if I have high cholesterol, that's makes it even worse, you know what I mean? So I really need to work on that somehow or the other. I probably need to take medicine for that. So yeah, I just got a lot to think about, and I need to do a lot of research. There's like cat hair floating around everywhere in here. I know I keep rubbing my nose. I promise I'm not like snorting coke, but it's just cat hair everywhere. Yeah, so I have to stay super hydrated, which I do anyway, because I'm always thirsty. But yeah, so that's it. It's like, I don't know, is it like frying pan into the fire kind of thing? I don't. It's really hard to say, considering how little is known about this condition, really. But I have to laugh because I was literally joking about this. Like, maybe it's some super rare thing that no one's heard of, and then it is. I mean, it's just too stupid to like not laugh about, But so anyway, I will be back, and I will keep you guys posted on like what more I find out, and next doctor's visit and everything like that. So if any of you have heard about anyone who's had this or know anybody, leave a comment down below, because I'm kind of overwhelmed right now, and now I'm thinking about like I'm just gonna have some kind of insane aneurysm out of nowhere. I had a cat once who looks just like my Maine Coon Norwegian forest cat type mixed guy. He's a real big floofy cat with his floofy pantaloons. And just one day, this cat, totally healthy, just keeled over one day. And it turned out that it was an aneurysm, out of the blue. And I keep thinking, like, I'm gonna be like my cat and just like keel over one day out of nowhere. Like I'm gonna stroke out, you know. That's a scary thought. But, you know, any one of us could just like get hit by a safe, like in a freaking Bugs Bunny cartoon. So what are you gonna do? Just live. This really sort of inspires me to, man, if only I were independently wealthy, I would just go take my cats and go move someplace that I really want to live and just do the things I want to do before, like, you know, drop dead out of nowhere. But sadly, I am not independently wealthy. But anyway, this is one of those things that will help with my disability claim, which is interviews coming up soon, because it's like right there on the list along with vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So yay. I doubt it's going to get me more money, but you know, it's like I am a delicate flower. Anyway, all right, pointy deadly flower, belladonna. All right, I will be back and talk to you guys later. Yay, no cancer. Boo, mysterious rare disease. Life giveth, life taketh away. It's a balance, right? The scales of justice are pretty balanced right now. All right. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm tired and completely freaked out. But all right, later.